Spoilers! This is Sophie Aldred with The Legend of the Traveling TARDIS.
Boom! Wait, I'm supposed to have the shtick is I have to have this up first. There we go. Hello and welcome, fellow Whovians. Now we already turned this off. There we go. Shticked. So, welcome to the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. I am your host for today, Paparazzo Dave Chapman. Are you ready? I can't hear you. Oh, right, we're on the internet. Of course I can't hear you. But I'm gonna assume y'all's ready, because we've got the best episode of Doctor Who ever to review. That's right, we're reviewing Lovin' Monsters. All right, so I'm not, of course, alone. Let's see who we've got. We're just gonna randomly pick Nick Smith.
What a surprise to get picked when your stick is stuck. So
your stick is stuck.
We are good to go. I was just thinking love and monsters. That's like monsters plural, right? So we don't just get one monster in this episode. We get more than one. Who are the monsters in this show? I can't wait to talk about it.
It's Chris Chibnall.
Could be.
There we go. There's the inevitable joke. All right. So cool. And beyond that, we've got, oh, look, from the TARDIS archives. Hey, Michelle.
Hello.
How's it going?
It's going good. I'm looking forward to this because I have questions I don't think I want answers to.
Excellent. Well, we've got somebody who's always got answers. We don't always want to hear them. Hello.
Of course,
David.
Going great, and yes, always happy to provide unasked for answers.
It's so true, and this is why I love
You're so good at that.
it. It really is. And of course, we have our wonderful founder, originator, show founder, showrunner, and peace sign throwing. He is technically a
peace sign throwing. Whatever.
Hi.
Hello. I've turned
drive-through
50,
streamer.
so this thing is now required to have.
What was that?
I said I've turned 50 a while back, so now this is a required thing to have now, or else I can't read anything on that I have written down here.
It's your brainy specs.
It's my brainy specs, yeah. This man has brainy specs, and that man has brainy specs.
brainy.
All the brainy specs are up here on the top level.
If not, I would have to wear my brainy specs because I couldn't see without them.
No, I have my contacts on. These are my reading glasses.
Oh yeah, I'm like one more eye exam away from that, according to the doctor. So I'm getting there too.
Next week, eye patches.
Eye patches. Okay, I'm in. You in there, David?
Let's take your eyes out.
Certainly, obviously, yes.
Excellent. So we of course have one more person, but rather than just introduce them, why don't we run an entire actual introduction for them? I think that makes a lot of sense. I just have to find it because there we go. Oh look, there it is.
Very long drive.
It's the Who Knew News with Gadget Pendragon.
How's everybody's day?
Yay!
Good.
I like my little sign over there. Mm-hmm. Relax, we're all crazy. It's not a competition. And
is that a Harry Potter bedroom going on in your background?
Maybe this time. I've got a few different types of backdrops. I figured why not, since there's going to be also something coming up with them later on Max and everything. But let's go more into what cool news I have, because should we go with Tennant or Nashuti? Which one would you guys like to hear first about?
Tennant.
Tennant, well, he's got double the trouble for us and everything, because basically, if you're a fan, see, I can't say the name of the show though, or is that the one? Which one can you not say the name?
It's the Scottish play.
The Scottish play.
Yeah, because you don't want to mess up this show and everything.
No.
Our lovely 10th, is it 14th Doctor, and also Clone Doctor, I call him, right? And everything. Plus, could be cousin and everything. Literally is having a movie out for all of us and everything. February 5th. And I can't say the name of the play of the movie and everything, but it seems like it's a very good one. And you all look at the face of him. You could see he's in character and everything.
And constipated.
We don't go there.
This movie has a toilet scene, apparently. Yeah, there we go.
He has to go to the bathroom. He has to go to the bathroom to get away from his nagging wife.
Oh
no, Georgina, she's gonna kill him.
No, lady.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. Can I put the title on?
Yep.
You can
wait, are we allowed
No, we
the
just
title?
can't read it out.
We can't say it. We can put the title.
Can't say it.
Yeah.
So, but I can show it.
Call her
We
Lady.
can show it.
Lady the Scottish play.
There we go.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
So if you guys are into Shakespeare, into any type of play, any type of anything that has David Tennant in it, from what I'm hearing on this one, this is going to be really good, and you don't want to miss it.
so I can't say Maccabee. MacArthur.
Right. Close enough.
Close, yeah, yeah, because we don't want this show to go down tonight and everything.
Yeah, I don't want to lose my 10 cents from whatever this.
We make the news fun, okay?
It's not Scottish, it's crap.
I saw that episode of First Broadcast.
Yep. And then the second thing that he is gracing us with is going to be at March 21st through the 23rd. Is at, I'm trying to make sure I get this right, Planet Comic-Con in Kansas City. And it seems that he has blown up the internet basically on this because everyone is trying to get photo ops, meet and greets, and everything with him because they're like, it's a rare occasion for him to come out of the woodwork like this. And everything. So everyone is like, you get your tickets at planetcomiccon.com. And basically, it's just one of those where it's funny how it says Harry Potter right there now, which might have a slight tie-in with our episode tonight as well. Because if you can guess something else in this episode. And hopefully people do get to see him and everything because they're saying that this will definitely sell out.
Oh, certainly.
Oh, it will sell out.
Oh, sure.
It may have already sold out by the time we're watching this.
Yeah, we're done. We just had to say it and then sold out.
Yeah, because this blew up the internet. The minute it was the most watched ad and everything. The page, I talked to some people and they were like, they didn't believe it until I sent them the link and they were like, he's really coming out of hiding. He's going to be at the. They were ready. Okay, they went to check their credit card balance. They're like, okay.
And for those who haven't had a chance, I had a chance 2 years ago at GalaxyCon Richmond. He is a delight in person. My mom still raves about meeting him.
He's the best.
He
He's
is,
always
he
with his fans.
So sweet to the fans, and even my mom. And because we were together in the meet and greet, and she still raves about meeting him.
Who knows? Maybe they'll reach out to us and have us come there, and then we'll get to meet him in person again and stuff. But now we have Nashudi, where do you understand what the importance of being earnest is? You know, because I'm very shocked at this one because this is actually a pretty cooler version of the story of Important of Being Earnest. And it has multiple showings, which is pretty nice about it, as the National Theatre Live is presenting the play version of Importance of Being Earnest with Nashudi. And you can get them in the Bronx, Canada, Florida. You just go right to the National Theatre Live website and you can basically see the showings. So far, we did these as a sample for any of our fans that are in those areas and everything. But check if it's in your area. But from what I've seen of the videos and everything, it is funny as hell.
What is Shooty and wearing pants at any given time? What is wrong?
It's very
Pants are overrated.
He's actually in a tutu in this. That's why that caught my eye when I saw
that. I was like, okay, I'm disturbed right now.
And
actually, he's wearing shorts there.
I know he's wearing shorts, but he's no.
The tutu app got me. I was like, okay, he's playing the piano with a tutu. Let's see how interesting this is. And watching from what I could see, this take of it is much better because I was bored out of my mind reading the book when I was in high school. I like this version better.
It's do like Stick Voice's response. Portland looks like he's just. I wonder, I'm going to use that picture in place of Rose. That will be every episode. That's what it is.
Yep. And we're trying to find you more news, guys, and everything. But like I said, everything has now been very under lock and key. I think they don't want anything out until it's officially closer to the days and everything. Especially, I'm still trying to find out about our spinoffs for Doctor Who and everything. Yeah. And it's just so far, it's the same message that they're doing. They're finishing shooting. They're going to have more stills come out and everything. They're going to have more of a bio on it. But they say to watch this next season to see the tie-in and everything.
Oof. Sounds like
don't
a plan.
Listen to him, Ghost of James Earl Jones. No, don't listen to him. Don't listen to Roger.
But trust me, guys, we're gonna make Who Knew News very good, very much better. It's just right now, probably the start of the new year. Everything, a lot of things are now just turning over. Like the shock of David coming to another convention. Like I said, it might be sold out, it might not be, but people blew up the internet and almost crashed the site.
Dang.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else we got in the news today, Captain?
No, there was a few other things, but I don't know if it's Doctor Who related because it has to do with one of my friends. And so far, I don't know if you guys would allow it and everything, but he is an ADA director for a bunch of anime, and he just had brain surgery. And they're trying to get him a home health care aid, and they have the GoFundMe out. So I was going to ask you guys for the next show if we can do it, or if anybody is in the anime world, they do know what's going on, to please donate to Mike McFarlane, because he is a good guy. He took this shy girl here and said, "You want to be friends?" and everything, when I knew him years ago and stuff. And he officiated at my friend's wedding. And, it's one of those where it's mostly in the news. And we did lose a comedian in the UK, but I'm still trying to find out if that's true or not, because a lot of stories are being told differently about this comedian. So I was going to find that out later for you guys.
Is it on Facebook? Because then it must be true.
That's why I wanted to make sure, since they got rid of their parameter thing, that's why I have to make sure on everything.
Remember when people would pass away and we got accurate news of their passing and not?
Oh no,
they're doing fine.
I was very young back then. I don't remember that. I don't. Yeah. That was 20, 30.
That never happened, huh?
I don't know.
So there is word that there was a comedian from the UK that had passed away, but I'm just trying to find more information because I don't want to give wrong information out here on that. And everything.
I think I know who you're talking about. And Stephen Fry actually mentioned it, and he's a good friend of his. So I would presume.
So that's why I make sure. Like, I knew his was correct, but then there was other people just posting other things, and it didn't make sense. So I wanted to weed out the ones before I got the official. Sure. Like, I wanted to quote somebody, because that's the problem when you quote somebody and they didn't say the truth.
We'll call him the Shooty. In this episode, only Roger. We're calling him the Shooty.
I cannot pronounce correctly due to my dyslexia. So, but I was told that you do pronounce the N when I was speaking to him the last time when he was on a certain other show, when he's friends with my other friend that's on that same show.
He got it wrong. That's not our fault.
Well, his own mother calls him Shooty. So
yeah,
if mom calls him that, then that's just the way that.
That's why I wanted to clarify that too. Like, I'm trying to say it the correct way and everything.
It's like Steve Buscemi he keeps getting corrected about his own name.
Mm-hmm.
People keep coming up to, it's Buscemi, right? No, it's Buscemi. No. Come on.
Celebrities should get that thing where they get the title of the person and it says hello, my name is, and the correct phonetic
with the phonetics,
yeah. Exactly.
Well, that's what Facebook does now. You notice that they do the phonetic spelling of everybody's name now.
Yeah.
Not everybody's, but you can turn that on. Yes,
mm-hmm.
It's an option, not a automatic.
Really, I got to figure out how to turn it off. They still get mine wrong. They still get it wrong.
Well, I'm still working on Papa Razzo.
I have gone by both. I really don't. It's yes. I've gone by Razzo. For years, most of the Derbyverse just called me Papa. So.
It sounds like an Uber pizza delivery service.
It's singular of paparazzi.
It took me a while because earlier I didn't know what you wore a shirt or something that say paparazzo, and I was just, what the heck is that? And I just kept saying like a bad Italian. It's like, there you go.
He has it on right now.
I've got it on every week. All of my jerseys have it. It's the name I got in roller derby, and it has stuck with me. It's on my business cards. It's on my Quidditch jersey.
That's what happened with this name.
Yep.
It started from high school, being the only girl in electronics class, to acting, where I needed a last name, and they said, "What's your favorite thing?" I said, "King Arthur," and they were like, "Here you go."
And tonight's episode of Keeping Up Appearances is brought to you by.
But this is the best, the best news that we've had so far. If it's only the second set of news, but we're trying to find news for you guys because, like I said, it's so slim right now because conventions are redoing things. There's so many things going on with Disney, Fox, all that stuff, like everything and stuff, because with the tie-in and all the stuff that happens with like Big Finish, everything, like everybody's all on different pages right now. And I want the truth out there. I don't want anything that we're going to have to like retract because that's more work for me.
We handle the truth.
Can
Mhm.
we? Can we handle the truth, really?
All right, so that has been the
Mhm.
Who Knew News.
Well, it's
And we're back.
I only had two short things, but yeah, speaking of conventions, we just want to remind everybody, MegaCon taking place February 6th to the 9th. Dave, myself, Faith, Jessica, our new
I have money on
co-host,
free now.
Gretchen, will be out there. And God, how many celebrities of Doctor Who celebrities are going to be out there? I've lost.
Oh, that's going to be an
All
interesting.
on a
I'm going to see the
toilet.
line go around the corner for them.
Yes, but gosh, I'm gonna.
How many are confirmed officially, though? Because you know what I mean. They can
If I'm not
cancel.
mistaken, I think 8.
8 are
At
confirmed.
least 8, because you got 2 doctors. You got Jodie, you got Matt, you got Arthur, you got Freema, you got Catherine was just added recently, Billie Piper, Yaz, and I know I'm missing something. And if you want to you want to add Mark Shepard on there, he's out there too. Because
And the funny part is you never know who's going to be a surprise guest either.
Yeah.
All right, thanks. So that's the other thing we've got to watch for if there's a surprise guest.
So they're still adding more guests. How big do you think this building really is? Jeez.
Let's see if they break the fire code.
They did that. They did it in Calgary.
I will.
Calgary actually.
I don't want to get in trouble.
Expo.
I don't want the hand, bite the hand that feeds me. So MegaCon, we will be there with the Dalek Builders of Florida in the community center. Again, February 6th through the 9th. Go ahead and you can pull it up on Google, MegaCon Orlando, and check out all the celebrities for crying out loud. And speaking of celebrities, thank you all. You guys are celebrities. Look at that. That new number.
Oh, damn.
So the goal is back, folks. We didn't think it was coming, but Social Blade says we're going to make 50 right before February.
I want to know who that 50th is. I want to know.
We're going to hunt them down or something.
That's going to be like
this guy. This is the 50th.
It would be funny. It would be funny if it is one of the actors that actually subscribes to us and becomes the 50th. That would be funny.
Yeah,
that'd be great. Yeah. That'd be great if it was a celebrity that just said, "You know what, Kirsten's been doing this for so freaking long. Let's just give the
Let's just be
like
yeah."
Now we'll end the Who Knew News. There we go.
All right, so I'm going to tell the story anyway because it's on Wikipedia. It's not biting the hand that feeds us.
That's fine.
The Calgary Expo, which is now run by Fan Expo, same as MegaCon, had the first full Star Trek Next Generation cast reunion. Outside of, I think it's an actual Star Trek convention, possibly even before that. But that
it was it was the first one at all.
Yeah, I think that's right.
They jumped on immediately afterwards. All the Star Trek conventions got them, but and then they started claiming those were the first because where is Calgary?
Yeah. Well, I mean, at that year, it sold out to the point of the fire marshal actually came and locked the doors getting in. It's like, you can't come in until somebody else leaves.
Mm-hmm.
They had oversold. If you left to have a smoke, too bad, you're at the back of the line now. It was insane. It was utter chaos, and it changed a great deal of how the back end of the convention, which was not Fan Expo at the time, ran. And it was ultimately probably a good thing in a lot of ways. But yeah, that's on the Wikipedia. If you look up the Calgary Comics and Entertainment Expo, that's even on their Wikipedia page. That is a major thing. So if you see me at MegaCon, that's actually this hockey jersey I have is the Calgary Expo that I always wear.
Say hi.
Yes, it would be awesome if he was at MegaCon. All right, so here's what I think we'll do.
Okay.
Is let's do
bouquet.
Let's go to commercial, and when we come back, we're going to talk about Love and Monsters. So all of you in the audience, put in your comments, your ratings, 1 to 10 TARDISes, into the comments, and we'll be back right after this. Christian, let's go to commercial.
Okay, let me get rid of that little thingy.
I gave like this long stretched out leeway to get there. Is Christian ready?
We are a touring acoustic duo crashing kitchens around the country. We go from house to house every Friday night, and we create music, we create food, a good time, we stream it live, and we do it for free. So now we're just really kind of like trying to develop it and build a community group that people believe in, then they'll help us. So we played from our rehearsal room, we played from the bathroom, thankfully that didn't catch on.
I probably played guitar in my room, not for anyone, in front of anyone, nobody heard, for probably about 10 years.
And then one Friday night, we played from the kitchen. It's the main place people want to be. It's where the food is, it's where the drink is, it's where the best lighting is. You can go to any party and I guarantee you, the kitchen is going to be popping.
Our ultimate goal, I think, would be to crash kitchens every Friday all around the world.
Are you a movie nerd? Do you collect VHS, DVDs, CDs, records, and so much more? Are you looking for clothing from 1940s to 2000s? Do you need cosplay or themed outfits? Come to Ducky's Vintage. We have it all for all budgets, located at the Oviedo Mall right off of the 417. Ducky's Vintage for those born in the wrong decade.
Are we back now?
I'm author Marc Muncy.
And I'm author Erica Lance.
And this is Eerie Travels.
Greetings, travelers. Join us as we travel through folklore, myths, monsters, legends, and dark history.
Now, we'll be your guide to the spooky side of reality as we discuss cryptids, paranormal, and all things preternatural.
Sometimes we find the truth is way scarier than fiction.
We're on twice a week on your favorite podcast platforms, including iTunes, Spotify, Amazon, and YouTube.
We have amazing guests from all of the areas of the strange and unusual, including witnesses, investigators, and more.
Now, with Erica's curiosity and ridiculous array of pop culture and true crime knowledge.
And Marc's decades of experience diving into folklore and the legends with the truth that's behind them.
Yeah, so join us, travelers, as we take you to the edge of reality, and we'll see you on the other side.
Hello, my name's Sylvester McCoy. Welcome to the legend of the Traveling TARDIS.
Oh, look. Who's that?
Oh, look.
Who's that young child?
Yes, this photo is from the year that Dave was talking about. That is me. Oh, good heavens! Over 20 years and at least 50 pounds ago.
Oh, because I met LeVar Burton. He's nice in person.
Every one of these fine actors has been back. I don't actually, except for I think Patrick Stewart. I don't think has been back to Calgary, but the rest of them certainly have been back since. We love them. They're all fabulous people.
Oh, I have nothing but good stories about them. So
yeah, LeVar signed my first book I ever read when I was little. It was this Little Monsters Bedtime Story, or I forget if that's the title of it because I have it hiding. And he signed it, and he was like, he hadn't seen that book in years and stuff. And he's really nice, and he's a trooper for dyslexia as well. And for people to with reading comprehension and everything, he wishes Reading Rainbow would be back soon. So I'm hoping.
Reading Rainbow turned me into basically becoming a historian, because originally I wanted to be a flight attendant because you got to travel, and they did an episode of The Ox Cart Man about history, and that's where everything's changed for me.
Yep, there we go. So there's another story from Michelle there. GalaxyCon shutting down from David.
Yeah. I had to beg to give me let in because I was a speaker and I was due on in 2 hours, and so the guy basically, because I had the different pass, he just flagged me and my mom in. It's like, okay, in, and people were trying to get him behind. He's like, no, it was a mess.
Yeah.
Hopefully this year this con's gonna be like not like that, because That's what happened at New York Comic Con one time when The Walking Dead showed up. The whole floor just completely went to the second floor. First time ever you could walk on that floor. Everybody was down in the basement trying to get into the panel, and fire marshals came and everything. I was up in the video box and everything for reviews and everything. When I saw it, I was like, "You have got to be kidding me."
So, Dave, I have an idea. If we want to cut down the autograph and wait lines, you and I will cosplay as firefighters walking into the building.
Okay,
am I wrong about this?
Technically, you can. There is an anime called Fire Force. There is an anime called Fire Force.
Somebody in LA has already been arrested doing this, so I would not suggest this.
Yeah, I would not.
We got to find some like obscure anime that had firefighters.
Yeah, it's called Fire Force. It's the prequel to Soul Eater.
Okay.
And everything. There you go.
That's why Dad just got the news thing. I like it.
Trust me, it's one of those where I'm waiting to see what happens, because if they could crash the internet with this, imagine what that convention is going to look like.
Yeah, it's gonna be. It just blowed up, folks. That's what's going to happen.
Imagine if he does show up at MegaCon just to surprise everybody. Because if you've got Rose Tyler, and everything, where's her partner?
Have to be helicoptered in into MegaCon. I'm gonna have to
Diana Ross,
barrage ballooned in.
Exactly, because there's no way there's going to be any parking, and you have to arrive like 3 hours early. And the worst thing, Dave, I don't know if I mentioned this to you. They're doing construction on Universal Boulevard.
Yeah, you mentioned.
I wanted to scream. I said, "This better be done by next month. This better be finished," because it's. If anybody knows about the area right now where Universal and the convention center is at, they're building Epic Universe right across from
Tim the Tracker was talking about that. Yeah, Tim the Tracker was talking
and
about
I'm just like, why are you doing? It's just like, God forbid they open, because I'm glad that Epic's opening up in May, I think, and it's going to be further out. But I'm just like, God forbid, like next year they have some kind of special going on the same weekend as MegaCon. I'm just like,
they always finish their construction on time in Orlando. What do you mean?
Yeah, they're perfect.
They're still doing construction at Davies. Javits is always under construction, so we're used to it.
Maybe we'll actually get some traffic popped up.
Oh no!
Yay!
Maybe we should do that.
Yeah,
we should make a calendar.
Fan user.
We should make a calendar. We go to the Lulu.com. We go make a calendar. We make a Traveling TARDIS calendar.
No.
Past companions, new companions.
Analyst out there.
Yeah. All right. So
let's get started.
Yep.
We're so excited to talk about this episode. We're so excited.
Exactly. Yes, exactly. I'm trying to keep us on the rails, and this episode itself is off the rails. So
this episode is a very interesting episode. What they got away with.
Exactly. So let's start with Christian. What is your number 1 to 10 for Love and Monsters?
I'm gonna give it. I really wanted to use my showrunner pass on this one.
I have no idea.
Well, here's the thing. I'm gonna say 5, and I want to go last, or at least second to the last, like right in front of you, Dave. If you go last,
we shall see.
So, we shall see.
I may make you go first, just for asking. Nick, how about you? 1 to 10.
I really want to give this story a good grade. They tried so hard, but I'm going to give it a 6.
Okay.
I feel like I'm on the prices right now.
Yeah, exactly.
He's just overbidding, so I don't get that bid a little bit higher.
Yeah, exactly. Michelle, you've been sounding like you love this episode. What do you give it?
Oh yeah, move over, Kaiser Van Rosani. I'm not. I want to give it a 5 because there's parts of it that are charming, and then parts of it is like I got questions I don't want answers, and especially after we're starting to learn secrets about other Doctor Who writers I don't want to know, and also like medication he was on while writing this.
And David, what about you?
Gee,
I feel the same. I don't know either.
Oh, I know what my rating is, but
What you can say on TV?
I give it an 8.
What?
Yes.
I like.
Are you
this
sitting
episode.
there with a dice rolling and just saying,
No.
I'm going to pick a number?
I like this episode better than Satan Pit, which was the one I first came in on.
Okay.
I
Ooh.
like
I
this.
wanna hear that.
I like
All right.
this episode.
Hey,
And Gadget? Is that a 1? Is
Yeah,
that-
because I only gave it because it was like a highlight episode, I call it. It's a filler episode.
Okay. Well, why don't we start with
$1.
let's start with the middle of the pack instead of and go with Christian. No.
No.
Gadget, you have the lowest number. Go ahead. Let's see. Let's work our way up. Gadget, you gave it a 1. What didn't work and did anything work for you?
Practically the whole damn thing. Catch.
See, let's see. Blake, last name, if you understand where I'm going with this and everything. Especially in that scene going back and forth with that monster and the bucket and everything. The Harry Potter references, the band references, the other band references that they got away with, and especially at the end and everything. It was basically like, okay, seemed interesting when he first got there and everything, and you're like, okay, and everything, and then the monster, and then the Scooby-Doo scene, and then the basically everything else, right? And then he's telling his story, and I'm like, okay, are we talking about maybe something happened? What happened? Like, he lost the plot through his story. And I know he was talking about what happened and everything and stuff, trying to remember what happened to his mom, what happened, why he saw the doctor first and everything. But it just kept losing. And then they went to a song that I didn't even think they were going to allow in because of the copyrights and everything. And then he was meeting all these people, and one by one, they were getting absorbed. And that was another thing, because you didn't know if he was running around in a loincloth or not. And especially when my dad is watching and everybody's like, what the hell are you watching? And
I rewinded to make sure.
With no pants on.
And I'm like, but all I kept seeing was more Scooby-Doo references, more Hanna-Barbera references than anything. And the only thing was the Harry Potter, because I recognized her and everything. But when they got to the end and everything, and especially they said about their love life, how the hell did they get away with that and everything and let that into the episode? Because I thought they were really strict about things. But I was upset that, like, he couldn't be, like, with Jackie and him, that looked like it was going to be a good friendship, you know, even though she was hitting on him like crazy.
Oh no, there's a man in my fixing my stuff. Anything could happen.
And magically everything keeps breaking, and then Rose goes to try to kill him because he upset the mother, and then she's hugging him. I'm like, what are we, like? Are we in the Twilight Zone?
Yes. You misspelled.
That's why I was like, I was lost. Like,
He totally misspelled it.
She has empathy. She's like, okay, there's more here than what I thought.
Yeah.
She's with the doctor. There's a giant absorbing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like she's just
right
more concerned about her mother.
And they don't even just. Oh, okay, yeah. Listen, you pissed off my mom.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever.
Yeah.
You, sir, have pissed off my mom. No, that's
just another day in Russia.
And then the relationship of the monster to the other one. Are they Celine? Are they this? Are they that? Are they, you know? And I was just like, they at least let one of them live, not live like that. Yeah. Because I was just like, because when I first watched it years ago, it went over my head. And then it was like, then I realized what they were talking about. And I'm like, they let this in Doctor Who.
Except for he's sitting it on his lap and where her mouth would be.
Uh-huh. Because we have to be so polite right now because we can't say what we want to say.
We would get kicked off YouTube for this.
Yeah, that's what we're trying. I'm trying to be so polite.
We're already kicked off.
I just want to point out, so, as an aside to that, in StreamYard, which we are using to do this, there's a bunch of stuff on the category, and I was in our private chat area. And Kristen just mentioned that there's some ratings in the audience, so we'll look at those in a second. But I look up at the comments thing, and it's the little flag of how many there were there, and it was 69. just as an aside to that conversation.
What?
And 12 of them are starred. Okay, this is like I want to say certain things, but I know we're going to get thrown off. That's why I'm focusing more on the Scooby-Doo-ness of it, because you notice we had Shaggy, you notice we had Scooby, we had Fred, we had Velma, right? And we had what was her name? Ursula Blake, not Daphne Blake.
Yeah.
Okay, and then to have the cartoony thing with Rose and him in the beginning, which became the middle and all that stuff. But that monster was just, what the hell was I watching type of situation and everything. Like, they don't notice their friends are disappearing and everything. And I'm like,
with the screams.
You don't
hear the screams.
scream.
Gadget, I have the perfect picture for this.
That picture is gonna haunt him. He's gonna get on the show and yell at us.
That was David Tennant at the read-through.
Actually, I think this is David Tennant read. He's
like, well, at least I get a week off from this one episode.
Yeah, like he was only in 2 seconds of it and everything. And then I was trying to see all the they were talking about the was it the autons, right? Did I say it right? The mannequins. The mannequins, and then they were doing the one with the Big Ben. Like, that's why I said it was a recap show, because they were recapping all these things that were happening. The window blowing out from I forget which ship that was that happened and everything.
The Christmas invasion.
That was okay. Yeah. And then all the other like stuff and everything. But the one that got me was the Shadow, and I forgot what episode the Shadow was in. Or was that something they made for this episode?
I think it was something made for this episode.
No, something for the episode.
Yeah.
What is he saying? How young? Oh, when did it come out? What year?
2006.
Wait, 6?
What he said. Yeah, I did.
And I'm born in 76.
Came out June 17th, 2020.
Was I 29? Wait, 29 or 30? Was I turning 30? Wait. I think I was 29 and a half turning 30, because November would be, that's 2006. Where's the calculator? I hate being dyslexic on that part.
Gadget, there's a lot of things in my 20s I didn't realize I got now in my 30s, and now I just hit 40. So in your defense, sometimes there's things that we just like, then you get later, like, oh my god.
Yeah, I didn't realize it was that long ago, 2006. Because that's funny, because I started that interesting job in, believe it or not, July of 2006. So this aired in June. Oh man, something's coincidental here right now.
That job has aged you prematurely.
Yes, it has. Yes, it has. 18 and a half years of being.
You were a child this summer, and now you're coming out ready for the White Horse.
Like, where's my brain? Where's that?
Yeah.
Never be a state worker. No.
I got it, Candyman.
So I think what we're going to do is I'm going to bounce to the other end of the scale. We've had our one. And let's take a look at what is 8.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure this one out.
Let's go.
I mean, I need to start off with, I like the Scooby-Doo. I like the Scooby-Doo-ness. It makes me giggle. I love that I love this the way it's structured. I love the core cast of this one, because they're just the average person encountering the Doctor is the big thing. And we get to see for the first time really what, not the average citizen, but the person who has that glancing encounter, but not the level of a guest star in the episode encounter with the Doctor. So one of the extras, essentially, which is what we see Elton as in all the previous episodes. And of course, the only encounter that he actually was a supporting character in, he barely remembers, or doesn't really. It's the thing that drives him. I love that. What else have I got here? Like, I love the structure of the episode where we have no idea what the critter of this episode is. We just see a group of these oddball outcasts of society coming together and falling in love with each other, essentially, as a group. They don't have a place in the world, but they find a place with each other. I think that is fantastic. And also that it leads into Jackie, who would fit in with the group in a way, in that she is usually a comic relief character, and they play her brilliantly like that. The entire seduction scene, if you want to call it that, the meet cute, the initial flirtation where he's listing how to infiltrate and she's just handing it to him on a platter, that also makes me giggle. But then it gets real, and both Elton and Jackie become fuller characters in a moment, and they connect in a very, very sincere way. And then she misinterprets what she finds in a very logical way, which unfortunately destroys that relationship, but it gives her vulnerability that she doesn't often get. And I mean, I just love Shirley Henderson in general. I do have to say that she is one of the best parts of the Bridget Jones movies, even though she's not in them much, but I love her in them. And yeah, that's I will admit, I mean, I only gave it an 8 because there are things I don't particularly like. I kind of would have preferred to see Ursula just be irretrievable. The trying to ungrim the ending undermines it for me, because they do, like in Elton's wrap up, he's still talking. He's pretty dark about the way things are going to get, and then bring her back just to say, well, you know, this is kind of funny and light still. And one of my defenses of the entire episode is Doctor Who is essentially a children's show, or at least it's intended to be. And while it is a mature and intelligent children's show, or strives to be, a lot of the stuff that even the fans tend to dislike about this episode, I think can be accepted under those circumstances. And I think the ending for me was a little too far in that direction.
All right, nope, that
yeah. That's jolly good.
Well spoken as always, good sir.
And overspoken, but thank you for not mentioning it.
Yeah, well, again, maybe I'm just desensitized from you. Bouncing back to the other end of the scale, Michelle, you were at a 5.
Yes, because there's a lot with the past review I agree on. I loved the Scooby-Doo comedy, the beginning, especially the homage to the homage to the chase scene. I loved
yes.
That. I was a big Scooby-Doo fan as a kid. I loved the what happens every year, just an average person going about your day, and you're actually more aware to the world of all the strange things that go on in Doctor Who's London or the Doctor Who world. You know, I always kind of thought with the Starbeast, the biggest blooper that they didn't have is when Fudge was looking out the window. Somebody should have been there videotaping as lava was going through, downtown London. So this idea, and I love that. I would have loved it if they had it like they're looking at the different doctors and they seen the different faces or the pictures. That would have been, I would have loved that more. But I love this idea of the found family, the kind of like the fans, because we're all from different backgrounds and different life journeys and different ages being brought together by our love of this crazy show. I love the found family aspect, how they had this little group together and they're helping each other and they're loving each other and their friendships with each other. So, and even I thought it was hysterical when the doctor comes in and Rose comes in of, you made my mother mad, you hurt my mother, and the other guy standing there like, okay, we'll just wait till this is over. So there's lots of the cheeky fun that I enjoyed of it. My thing that I don't like, especially I think because the idea is that this villain was created by a child, and there's things in here that even for an intelligent child, this is not exactly the most family viewing episode. I do, looking back, I do find a little icky Jackie's seduction of Elton. The age difference, that's really icky and yucky. And then definitely some of the gross out humor on the Abzorbaloff, like the one girl's her being absorbed on the butt. That borrows in good taste, and definitely the ending with her becoming the piece of concrete slabbing, and we even have a love life, and exactly where he's having it on his lap, and where especially for the fact that this was created by a child through the Blue Peter franchise. RTD really should have reined himself in a little bit more, and especially in today's line where we look at things right now, there's some icky, disturbing factors in here.
You think it would have been made today if they knew all this?
No.
It would have been made worse.
More CGI.
Let's be honest. They had booger monsters in Shooty's first episode, for crying out loud. So yeah, it would have been made worse.
I think the sex jokes actually would have been much more prevalent now than it would have been then. And that's kind of some of the humor, what passes for humor in Modern Who, and I'm not anywhere as a prude. I don't find, when I just was doing another show today where we're talking about the Terror of the Autons, and you see the humor in that episode, and then you see later down 30 years later, 40 years later, what passes for humor. It's very stark.
That's progress.
Yeah, I'm not sure we could call it progress, to be honest.
But what's funny is that I noticed later on we're getting those episodes where you had the elderly trying to find the doctor and their like little group and everything, and then you had the companion group. So did they take that in years later from this episode to make like a group to find the doctor, to help the doctor, you know what I mean, and to talk about the doctor?
That's right.
And I love the idea, because there would be, in the Doctor WHOverse, there would be the WHOniverse, there would be internet channels, there would be people like Clive, there would be documentaries on the History Channel, Paranormal Channel, about the mysterious figure. I mean, we see those today on Ancient Aliens, where they talk about or certain people from the history, is he still alive or not? There's the one that's that was in the French court. My brain is bloopering on me. Someone they think maybe he's still alive. So I mean, that would be in our world, especially how much we're into the supernatural paranormal. There would be chat groups devoted to the Doctor.
So it's kind of ahead of its time in that way.
Yeah, I did know they tried to do a audio show or be BBC Sounds a year or two ago. Redacted about the idea of who is this Doctor character.
Well, it's funny because in Joy to the World, didn't Nashudi have all the TARDISes, and he said he found them online?
Yeah, and they're popular for and I love when they're doing kind of like the Ancient Aliens before Ancient Aliens came out. It gets this by a decade is the little TARDIS hieroglyph.
Yes,
I mean that was, and because the TV show Ancient Aliens came out when I was in grad school, so I remember when that show came out. So that it gets them by a decade.
I wish they had Easter egged and had Starry Night in there, without any plan. Like we get Starry Night later with the Van Gogh episode, but I really would have been nice if they just laid that foundation. I love it when that sort of thing happens.
Or have pictures of the other Doctors on the shadowy pictures of other Doctors, like the Fifth Doctor at some cricket game in the 1920s.
Yeah, I don't know if they got that far into it yet.
No, I know that part of like they were actually going to do a few more clips when Elton's going through encounters and whatnot, and I read the trivia. Basically, they were going to do clips from original series, and the producers just said, no, we're not paying those writers to use any of that. They don't want to pay likeness rights. They just will stick to New Who, and it's going to cost us less money.
Oh.
And in the first couple of seasons, that does make sense. The BBC was still barely funding this thing.
Yeah.
It's still an experiment to them at this point.
I mean, if memory serves,
tossed around on Disney XD, it was getting tossed around all over the place. So Disney had its hand in it too back then.
Yeah. I think, if memory serves, they still hadn't confirmed that this Doctor continued from the previous series. Even at that point, there was still the chance that what they were going for was this is a reboot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay.
I don't think they did on camera. Like
exactly.
Canon. They certainly had off of the show. They certainly had said that.
Yes,
that means nothing.
Exactly.
RTD lied. What?
Yeah.
Never.
Doesn't the Doctor lie too?
Yeah.
Doesn't the Doctor lie?
The BBC lies.
So let's take a look at some of these audience chats here.
Got it.
Yes.
Dan says it wasn't horrible. It was a bit silly. I'd give it a 5. Much better than Horns of Neiman.
Oh, how dare you hurt the Horns of Neiman.
My dreams of conquest.
Dun, dun, dun. Jim, I love the characters. I love the made-up band that they formed. Love the music.
There you go.
There you go, Jim. Yes.
Yep. Roger, hello everyone. Yeah, Nicobat, this episode was almost as bad as Empire of Death we got last year.
Oh, ouch.
I wouldn't.
No.
That's a different argument. I would like to give it a nice 4 out of 10. Love and Monsters is just that bad. Spilled Geek Tea. I'm assuming that's Tom on there. Compared to the next one, I give it a higher score of 5.
That sounded like it hurt.
Roger, I believe there were 2 monsters in this abysmal RTD episode, Nick.
I think one was a piranha getting a pork chop, and the other was whatever it was.
Yeah.
I think they named it Hoiks or something like that in the credits only.
Not the blue bucket.
I thought he meant the blue water at first. I'm like, did you want blue?
Yeah.
Like, I didn't know what he meant at first, and then it was like, oh, the bucket.
Dave, before we continue, I just want to put this one up right in front of Gadget. There.
What are you doing? You know we get high ratings when you do this, right?
Yes.
You know that they love me. That's why we get high ratings. Yes. Yeah. What are you doing?
Every minute of this right now.
What did you find?
Nico, I give it a 4. The story could have been written much better. A kid chose the monster, but the plot was bad adult humor. Okay. I can see that.
Understand it.
Roger, I gave it a 4 out of 10. Love and Monsters was one of RTD's awful episodes in the New Who era. Abzorbaloff is a horrible monster name, too.
Are you really? I meant nobody's going to say Clump was a bad planet name?
Yeah, at least his planet's got a cool name.
But I love how he got
Phalapatorius over Clump.
I love how he got the names that was like where they're throwing out ideas. He's like, wait a minute, no, that one's a good one. I'm gonna go with that one.
To be on the writers' room team, right?
Well, Tom says 5 out of 10. Just reiterating out there. And Sig Ages, thank you so much. Well, hello, best Doctor Who channel ever. Thank you. Thank you.
There we go. Yeah.
Wait.
Oh, hello.
I don't know how to do the hearts.
Thank you, Sig.
I don't know how to do it.
Gotcha. He continues.
The truck will be in the mail.
So Sega continues. I want to have his staff IRL, not even getting better than any pimp stick. What? I still think it's the worst episode of David Tennant's time on Doctor Who, and the
he wasn't even in it.
And the Candyman wraps up 4 out of 10. I am not. Yeah, Peter Kay. What does everybody think of Peter Kay? and handling that character.
I think he was doing different kind of acting to all the other actors in the show. It's a big problem with the episode for me. You know, they're fairly natural, and then he comes along and he's more over the top. It just pulled me out of it.
And he was apparently instrumental in writing the episode as well, because he was that character. So
I won't say anything.
Just don't touch him. Just don't touch him.
Don't touch him.
Yes. No, thank you. I wouldn't
eczema or eczema or whatever the heck he said.
Don't touch him.
So then, if I go back into my list of people and I scroll back up to where I had noted what everybody gave it, and I lost. We have so few things that I still lost. There we go. So we've done Gadget, we've done David, we've done Michelle. I guess we have to bounce the other way to Nick now.
I see what you're doing. You're saving the best for last. Okay.
Oh, it's him.
Oh, my sweet
I'm putting the
friends.
best in the middle, Nick. That's
Oh, no, he went around this way and then he went back the other way.
Yeah. I'm dizzy.
We're all confused.
Oh my goodness. This story. I have so much to say. I'm going to try and keep it nice and tight. Okay, so I think a big reason why fans don't like this episode is because it's about fans.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's about fans, kind of like WizKid in The Greatest Show in the Galaxy. You know, it reflects a part of us, and we don't respond well to that. So I love the way this is self-referential. It's talking about fans. It's talking about people coming together. They describe themselves as the inner sanctum, all studying the Doctor, and they also mentioned that they have other interests as well. They're not just about the Doctor. They like other stuff too, just like Elton says. He likes music. They do other things. But they're brought together by this interest in the Doctor, just like a Doctor Who fan. Oh my goodness, that's so subtle. Also, just the love of, there's just a passion for so many things that are Who, that are tucked into this show. I'll just use one example, the TARDIS, the sound of the TARDIS. Elton talks about the Doctor's machine, the most beautiful sound in the world. And later, Victor calls it the sound of the universe. So there's that kind of celebration of just the sound that TARDIS makes. How often do we see that in episodes? So they're able to play with that. They're able to break the fourth wall a lot. They're able to play with the structure, you know, kind of refer to how the story's structured. Oh, I put the exciting bit at the beginning, you know, because it's a good way to open the story. So he actually tells the audience that. So it's a screenwriter talking about screenwriting through these characters. You've got more Autons. We see the Autons smashing through a store window, which is the part everyone remembers from Spearhead from Space. So we've got references to past episodes, whether we see Classic Who or not, is still referred to. And we've got, it reminds me of, you remember there was a Doctor Who fan in Queer as Folk. We've got that kind of nerdy love of a show or a fascination with something that really is, again, just played with in this story. This is double banked, right? They're trying to film this at the same time as the Satan Pit, the Impossible Planet. So from a production point of view, I can see why it's Doctor Light. And the story made me laugh. It made me do a little woohoo when the Doctor turns up at the end. It made me sad when, you know, the fans are absorbed and then they all work together to destroy the monster. And it also touched me when it talked about loneliness. So many fun things to talk about. The reason why I only gave it a 6 was because usually I watch these shows when I review them with my son. And I gave him a week's notice and he just didn't get around to watching it with me. And I'm like, yeah, this is not a story that you run to. It's not like a go-to story. It's like, yeah, I've got nothing else to do. I've watched all the others. Maybe I'll watch this one. So that's why it gets a slightly lower point count than I would usually give it. But it's still pretty cool.
That's no, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah, I agree. Those are parts that were very touching, especially when he's remembering his mom and he has the videos, and then they're walking hand in hand, and then she stops and she goes forward like she's passing away and going off to wherever, and she blows him a kiss and walks off. Like bye bye, I'm going now.
That really, I really felt something when I watched that, and it's just popped in there. So we have high comedy, we have farce, we have Scooby Doo, cartoony stuff. It's a bit kinky at the end. There's a lot going on. Lots to play with.
That was not kinky.
That was just over people's heads until they figured out, oh, wait a minute.
You just can't think about it too much because who would want to?
We don't need to. We don't need to go there. We don't need to talk about our relationship.
We need our appendages.
Okay? When I go,
was she on the desk while he was doing the interviews? That's the funny part.
Yeah, she was.
But at the beginning, or at the
and then she went on in Hogwarts.
Yep.
Nick, when
I was in the bathroom with Harry.
When I go back and look over, David Tennant's career as the Doctor and all three of the Doctors that he's played,
wasn't he
and
Barney
one
Crouch?
solo moment that's going to.
He was Barney Crouch. Yeah.
He was Barney Crouch. I'm talking about Metacrisis
Junior
10 and
that
14.
one.
Yeah.
But I'm just like when I go over his time, that this image is going to be screwed in my brain for the rest of my life. There's no way it's ever going to come out again. And it's just like a stain in, I can't even explain this properly.
How do you explain it? That's
no, you can't.
Don't even try.
And the only thing I can think about is the kid who made this up is going to learn really fast.
Now that looks better.
It looks. I was going to say the same thing with the smaller head.
This was more like
the bigger loincloth.
Yes, the bigger loincloth.
And a smaller head. We see too much of it in the show. It's shown in broad daylight. You need to kind of keep your monsters.
Like, look at the hands. The hands are even better. I like the hands that way.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what was the costume designer thinking back then? Usually they do good costumes on Doctor Who.
That part's obvious. That especially with the hands, because it was meant to be. They threw up that it was a twist at the beginning, not the end. But where he's holding the thing, and you realize those are the Slytherin hands.
Yeah.
But you can't see that. He's behind the newspaper, and then that's not who that is. But he's from the neighboring planet, so that's why there's so much connection to between those two characters.
He's
so
42. Yes.
Yeah.
That's also supposed to be about 2 stories tall. That's the one complaint the child apparently had about it, is that is supposed to be a giant, much more of a existential.
Why he drew the full body on the arm? That makes sense.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I did like how fast he moved. Where he jumps over the desk. It's like,
well, this is my thought process. William Grantham is the one who made this, and this is actually really original drawing of this. And my thought process is this. You created a monster, literally, in probably the worst show episode of Doctor Who, and you're gonna have to live with this. So just like, that's not gonna leave a stigma.
He's gonna own it. You know what he said? I own it.
Harry, you had a great concept. It's not your fault. You had a great concept. It was how it was executed, and that shows.
You let adults take care of it. That's what happened.
Well, as Nick was,
are you sure they're adults?
Yeah, as Nick was pointing out, like the way a lot of the I think it was Nick. A lot of the way is how he performs the part as well. Like the constant mouth licking thing.
That was also gross.
Like.
Hold on.
I may like the episode.
Get rid of that.
Do that again.
Get rid of this picture.
I'm trying.
There it is.
Do that again.
Oh.
And we can't get him acting roles.
Sadly,
it's just the same.
It's that actually
just got rejected for a writing position.
I'm sorry, David. You can't write this talented stuff out.
No.
That was the look.
This is a 10. This is. If you can't write like this, you're not going to be in doc. It's like you'll never grow up to be anything. Like, fine, I don't want to grow up.
If your writing does not give the person reading it this reaction.
This reaction, I gave that reaction.
Yeah, there you go.
The teeth part like that's look. My poodle Bill gives when her sisters are bothering her.
David, what do you think? Oh yeah.
That's the look.
Busy with his plumbing.
That's the look of this episode.
That's the look he was wearing during the read through. But he's like, Lisa, I'm being paid on this one.
Mm-hmm. So,
I wonder what Billie Piper was going in her mind when she did this one.
Yeah.
Lisa, I'm getting paid. Lisa, I'm getting paid for this one.
Yeah.
She was barely in it. She was in the beginning and the end. That was it.
Like, it's a great performance from her. She is, I mean, she's hilarious in the moments when she needs to be. But when in that last scene when she is coming in hot, I feared for his life.
Yes. Yes.
Even the Zorboff was like, I feel bad for you.
It was like, I'm going to kill you.
I may want to be absorbed after all than the face of Mad Tyler woman.
Yeah.
But the crazy part was
here, and you're having to go at me.
And then at the end, he's like, "Get a spade," and you're like, "What the hell does he need a spade for?"
That was kind of funny. It's like, grab a spade.
Well, I don't understand where her parts inside that slab.
He said he could only save the last victim, and I'm thinking he's gonna make her all better in a different form, like
like
the
he
way
made her
he
all better in a
was.
different form. That's exactly the point.
But
I mean, that's the other really dark thing about this episode is she's immortal now. It's not the doctor who says it; she says it, but apparently she is immortal.
So then, did the Shield find her and take her with her?
She'll be his headstone.
I don't know if we can say this online, but it starts with an O and begins with fans. She gets her own check.
No, she had the best one. Michelle said it best. Michelle said it best.
God. Oh, you want my review now?
No. Oh yeah. You know what? After that comment, no. There we go. So this is what I say to that. So we'll just take him right out of the show because no, I'm putting you in timeout. You do not get your.
No, he's gonna let it. Yeah, let Christian rip it. Let him just go at it.
No, we're not doing a Slytherin episode. Slytherin, and so there will be no ripping of it.
Wait until we get the
that's the other planet that has those smart jokes. I'm gonna be nice and let Christian have the last word.
Oh, okay.
That's what it is. I am mean to Christian all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So
you just don't want to review this.
I'll be nice, and I'm gonna give it a 6. And I kind of have been waffling on, and part of it, I think, if I'd watched, there's enough stuff that I like that I still like it more than Rose. I still hate, and I don't remember what I gave Rose. I'm pretty sure it was a 3, so I still like it more than that. Is it the worst of the David Tennant episodes? I haven't gone through the rest of the season again, in a very long time, so I'm gonna say probably. But I have a question for Nick and for Candyman and any of the other Brits. Do you see this the running between the doors bit as Scooby-Doo or Benny Hill?
Oh, that's Scooby-Doo. Definitely.
Okay. Because I've seen him do the same bit, and I think that's where Scooby-Doo stole it from or something. But
probably.
I just don't know which would have been more popular in 2006 over there. Certainly for all of us in North America, Scooby-Doo. But
it's all about the Scoob.
Yeah, that's fair. No, I agree. I liked that part. I think it was fun. I like the lighter episodes as a general rule. I didn't love the song and dance bit. Not because I don't love song and dance. I just kind of went, meh. It was just like one of those. Okay, why? Was there nothing better on the cutting room floor than that?
Yes, there was, and they picked this one.
Yeah, fair. I did love, and I kind of mentioned it earlier, the twist. I loved that they kind of threw us through a couple of loops in this. It wasn't exactly the "you meddling kids, let's see who this is" kind of moment. It was there, but it wasn't. I love, okay, clearly this is a bad guy. We know this is a thing. Okay, what is he? It would have been very easy to say, oh, he's a vampire, or he's a was it the Cybermen that was kidnapping? No, it was what was the one? No, it was the Daleks. Oh, I think they both done it, where they're just disappearing people and making them thralls to themselves. There's any number of monsters they could have done that shtick with, and then you had the hands there. And remember, this is 2006. It wasn't internet everywhere. Look at the antique computer that he was using.
Yeah.
Don't say antique.
It was totally an antique.
I have a Brother netbook still on my shelf. That's antique.
Yeah, fair. But it is something that, the Celine was still there. The fart jokes were still there. This was a season ago that they were a major, they had 3 episodes in the first season of them, a 2-parter and then a third. So yeah, it's made sense to bring them back, but not really. Yeah,
it's like a bridge between the early, more childish stuff and the more complex stuff.
Exactly.
A filler episode.
Yeah, exactly. Miss and fear her.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
if he had gone over better, if the Abzorbaloff had gone over at all, I think we would have seen more of Clump, the planet Clump. And more of that relationship. I think because everyone, even back then, was just like, the beep, are we watching here?
Would that have been on a Sarah Jane episode then?
Maybe.
That's a good question.
Yeah. I don't know. But no, I enjoyed that. I loved the twist. I did, as a lot of people have said, I loved the relationship that was built and the meta conversation that was happening there. I wouldn't call this a clip episode. There was, 2 minutes of a couple of clips that were necessary. There were 30 seconds of context. And I think they actually were, I hate clip episodes. I hate those episodes. I inevitably will skip them no matter what the series is and how much I love it. But I wouldn't call it that. This was definitely a giving context. And I loved the lower decks of it.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
That's years before, but it's the background people. It's the concept of there's a world being impacted. Here's the adventure.
Apparently it was.
Bridge crew, here's the doctor. Here's everyone behind them. Well, that's still happening and they're being impacted. And I really enjoyed that. And I think we had a little bit of that even with Blink, with Sally Sparrow. Right, I don't mind Dr. Light episodes. They're not bad. They give a different context to the world around us. Big giant quotation marks. Us, the world around the Doctor, and that's a good thing. They get a lot of hate, and I understand why, because we're watching a show called Doctor Who, and there's no Doctor. But they're not just filler episodes. They tend to be some of the more unique episodes. 73 yards. That was messed up, fascinating, left with more questions, wanting to know more. Blink, one of the most.
Yeah, those are good episodes.
This just happened to be the old Abzorbaloff. Yes. Okay. This was a little goofier than that, and again, that's not.
I would have rather seen the bloopers of this episode. Maybe it would have been funnier.
I would have wouldn't mind that.
Those were the bloopers of this episode. One episode out there.
Like, you break the cane and he can't have the filter around him. Come on. What else was happening?
Yeah, I could have definitely stood to have, again, maybe that we would have gotten it in the future had it gone over at all. But that I would have liked a little bit more of that. That was very
rushed.
Deus Ex Machina. Yeah, it was not a fulfilling end for anyone except for the Slab of Stone. There was some fulfillment there, but not from me. Just saying. There was a lot of moaning coming from there, and we'll just take that joke as you will.
if people don't have that over their heads.
Exactly. Yeah. No, it was not the worst episode in the world. Was it the worst episode of Tennant? Maybe. Were there worst episodes? I think so. And it is very much up to your tastes.
Yeah.
We had an 8. We had a 1. We have a 5 coming from Christian, and we'll find out what that is right now.
Really?
Yep.
You have your Tennant specs on, so you're ready.
Can I just point out that
segue.
Can I just point out real quick that he looks like the Slab?
What?
What?
No, he's got his Tennant.
And your
No, he's got his Tennant specs on. He's got his
Not
Tennant
me.
specs.
You, Christian.
Wow.
And Tom took a screenshot of that, I'm pretty sure.
Yep.
Well, you have your
Okay.
Tennant specs on, so you go.
You're very brainy.
Brainy specs?
Somebody hack his
Okay.
account and make that.
No, like David tells
Okay.
us, like David Tennant specs.
Ah.
Okay. Well, I did something a little different that I haven't done for any episode of Doctor Who, and especially now that we kind of have the privilege of hindsight that this episode has been around for a while. And because when it first came out, I was, throwing things at the screen, and I wanted to explain this when I went through the processes of watching the episode again. How would I explain this to a person if I really liked the episode? And then when I had that mindset, things started changing around, because my original review of it when I first started was a 2. I was actually sitting right next to Gadget about this. But there were some really good things that I kind of not taken into consideration, because I don't think, because you could tell it was a rush job and it was sitting in between 2 episodes of Doctor Who, I think it didn't know where to go. Was it a tragedy? Was it fun? The great thing about Doctor Who is when I explain it to people, you're crying because you're laughing so hard, and then 5 minutes later you're crying because you're sad. And Doctor Who can be a roller coaster of emotions, and this tried it, and for me it didn't do out too well. But let me ask you about this. First of all, this I think should have been the ending. I don't think they should have died. I don't think the L.I.N.D.A team should have died. I think they all should have lived, and I think instead of her becoming a Home Depot object, I think what should have happened is, if we really wanted to focus, because what I actually appreciate about this episode, and we get to see it later on, especially with Rose, the greatest thing about it is the perspective of somebody who enters the Doctor's life, even for a moment, how the Doctor changes them. I mean, Amy Pond is a great example of this. Even Clive in the episode Rose,
Yes.
he was investigating him, and guess what? He ended up being killed at the end. Was he killed with this? Just him? I don't remember. But
It was just him.
remember,
He was killed.
he was killed. Okay, so Clive spent his whole life looking for the 9th Doctor, and he found him in Krakatoa on the Titanic. So I kind of actually appreciated that this was an attempt to say, hey, we're always seeing the Doctor's world, but what about the world of somebody who's entered the Doctor's world from their perspective? I think what should have happened at the end is everybody should have lived. I think as a team of L.I.N.D.A, they should have defeated the Clum guy that I can't say. And in the end, I think there should have been a talk between Elton and the Doctor, saying something to the fact that I spent my whole life chasing after you when I should have been chasing my own life, and then he ends up with the girl.
Yeah.
That's the way I think it should have ended, and I think that would have made for a better story for me. And the whole Abzorbaloff thing really just that's my opinion about that. I think it would have been a far better story if everybody lived and discovered they had a life of their own. They just needed each other to discover how they were going to do it together, and they did it as a family.
Mm-hmm.
That's my opinion on that. But yeah, somebody like Sarah Jane, what an influence her, because she was one of the first companions to leave in the classic, come back in the new, and see how much she's been affected by the Doctor over her time of lineage. And then she gets her own TV show, The Sarah Jane Adventures, and then we get to see her in action. So I really think this episode kind of gets its rubbing, and it well deserves it, because it was gross. It was weird. I wouldn't let my kid who made the monster watch the thing that is, or at least cut off the ending part and say, yeah, this is how it ended, kid. But I was trying to, I was doing it completely because everybody has already said what was wrong, what went wrong with it. And I was trying to focus on what went right with it. Even though it's a Doctor Who light episode, it is a really great idea every now and then to get a perspective from when we're not seeing the Doctor. And I'm not talking about Dot and Bubble. I'm talking about something like this. I think this was great. It just was so badly executed. And I think if Elton and the team and the girl had lived, then for Elton to actually have that conversation with the Doctor saying, listen, you've affected my life, but you're not my life. This is my life. And I'm going to say goodbye. Go back into your blue box. I'm not going to be chasing you around anymore. I've got this life to me. And that's how it ended.
Yeah, that's a great take, Christian, because there is that line where he says, I was so involved with aliens and Doctor stuff. I didn't realize what was really important. It's almost a throwaway line that's in there. Could definitely have been built up.
And I didn't think you had to make the monster. You could have made the monster. I don't know what you would have done with that monster. Peter Kay, I really think did the best that he could with what he got, and I don't know his comedy. I've never seen him, but I think I don't know how you could have executed the monster the way it was. When I mean the monster, I mean what was it? What's his name in the movie? I can't. His character's name. I'm going to look it up. Hang on a second.
You mean Victor or
Victor Kennedy? Yeah, Victor. Well, both. He's the monster of the whole thing.
Yes.
But like I said, it didn't know when it was. Didn't know when the door was swinging. If am I supposed to laugh here? Am I supposed to cry? And I'm getting grossed out.
Not grossed out.
Grossed out over and over and over again. Yeah. And I one of the things I just found weird, and it felt uncomfortable, but maybe I'm missing the point if somebody wants to get it, is that relationship right there.
What do you mean by that relationship?
Because I did like it for one thing. It fleshed out Jackie.
Yep.
Yeah.
We now see Jackie from the years of, it gave Jackie a fleshing out because now we get to see and appreciate she's lost Rose. It's kind of like Rose has gone on and moved on, and Jackie is doing the best that she can.
Because how old was he again? He was how old, and she was how old?
I don't know.
I mean, the actors are only 2 years apart in age.
Wow.
So I'm not entirely sure. He does seem to be younger, though.
Yeah, he
younger than Jackie at the very least.
I don't know, but having that like kind of,
because it could be a double standard, because older guys can go after younger girls, like the Doctor's older, and Jackie's just a little older than him,
Well, the reason I bring this up is that Kennedy manipulated Elton to go and infiltrate Jackie, and he started having affection with her. I'm just like, well, wait a minute, you already have a girlfriend. What are you doing with Jackie?
Yeah.
And that's why I kind of like, when that scene where Rose comes out of the TARDIS and which I thought was the funniest thing almost, because it's like you have this big monster you don't know about that's about to kill you. I'm going to beat the living crap out of Elton.
Yep.
And the monster's
Which
like,
shows just how normalized that has become.
Yeah. And I think it would have been better maybe of a story of Jackie and to see what life was like with her on the side. Maybe this Love and Monster should have been her story, where she had to go on without Rose, and then all of a sudden this monster shows up, and we're seeing from Jackie's perspective what she would have done. She's got no Doctor, she's got no Rose, and maybe in the end they show up to save her and just like, well, no, I didn't need you in the first place. I've got my own life. That may have been another direction. like I said, I just don't know the direction it was going on. What was it? I love the team. I feel bad. I think, what was her name? God, who's the girl that ends up in the butt, for crying out loud?
The one, the shaggy type. What was her name?
Bliss.
Bliss.
Yeah, Bliss. I'm just like, wow, what a way to for your acting career.
Yeah, she was shaggy.
You were in the butt. It's like and
the two other characters are falling in love, and
she's looking for her daughter, who is a drug addict. Unfortunately, and she's looking for her daughter.
That was a weird way to go. I mean, I know they wanted to explain how she could disappear from the group without anyone questioning it, but come on, that's dark.
Exactly. I'm just like, why? I mean, I liked her character. It's the thing
I
is,
liked all the characters.
Is that
nobody heard the screaming?
I assumed that was just for us to hear.
Yeah. Just to know, because it was hinting that he was absorbing all the people.
Yeah.
But there's a funny thing. It's from the Critical Drinker does a review of Arachnids in the UK. And I don't know why I thought of this, but with the 5 of them being together, he mentions that when the Doctor brings in her companions, Yaz brings in her people into the room. She brings in the 13th Doctor. She's bringing in Graham and Ryan. The parents don't ask, who are these people? And he just brought all these people into our house. What do they got to do with each other? I mean, why aren't you hanging out with kids your age? And I'm looking at this team and just like, yeah, same thing. How do these people? But they do, they do get it along. I don't know. Like I said, again, I think they had a brilliant idea and they just went into a weird direction with it. And I think they could have had a lot more fun if they focused in on it, maybe just one more hour in the script or something. And I think they would have had a better episode. And Love and Monsters, I think, would probably be one of the higher episodes. It just ended up the way it did.
Too many plot holes.
So I just wanted to do a little math because we talked about, the weird age difference. The Camille Coduri, I can never pronounce it. Jackie Tyler's only a year older than Elton. The actor.
Okay.
There's and Christopher Eccleston is only another 2 years past that. So I mean, really, it's not nearly that creepy. Like they were already 30. He was 39 when he filmed that. He's not young by any stretch.
But he looks young. He looks young.
That's where I'm not doing, the age of the actors. I'm basing out like the age of the characters are supposed to be.
But that's never actually specified.
Can we see that comment up again? That was very deep, Christian, because we don't see that every day.
Yeah.
Where was that? I'm sorry. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I saw that. I was trying to figure out.
Yeah, that's
Well, I meant, like I said, I could have been a review, and I think I would just been one of 6 among how bad it was and going off of it, with the exception of Dave. He gave some good pointers, but I said I want to do this review completely different from a perspective that I actually liked it. And then when I watched it again, I said, I'm going to find things that I like, and I started to see things in a different perspective as opposed to disgusting monster, weird love life, and things that went on. And then when you start to get from a different focus, because you're looking at things from a different perspective, it made it less depressing to be an episode. I'm like, I don't want to watch, when I go over and watch episodes again and again and again, I'm like, this is not one of those episodes. But now maybe.
I think it would be very easy for RTD just to repeat over and over the same traditional story. So I love the experimental stories. I want to see different things in Doctor Who. I want to be surprised. I want 73 yards and dot and bubble. Right? I don't want the same story over and over again.
Yeah.
So I applaud this kind of story that just tries something different. It's not 10 out of 10 for me, but it's a different tone.
It's certainly not an episode I'd turn off.
Yeah.
It's not one that I would necessarily.
Oh, I would turn it off in a second.
But I'm not gonna just skip it because I don't like it. I'll watch it. I will enjoy it for what it is.
If there's nothing on, I'll watch it.
But I'm not gonna, if I'm binging everything, I'm not gonna skip it. I didn't hate it. Did I? Like I said, like Nick said, is it the best episode ever? No. But it's I similarly I think it is. I agree. I like the different. Mm-hmm. It's not the same. It is a. I will concede that it is probably a failed experiment, but it was an experiment, and you don't get to see that often.
Yeah, a lot of TV shows. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, like I forgive a heck of a lot to give it as high a rating as I did, and even like I think Christian's ending is the way to go. It's how it should have been, but I still think that they could have let them die, because I do think RTD was very much trying to push the darkness, sort of auguring the darkness he wanted to bring out of the Doctor going forward.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, dangerous to be around.
Yes.
Yeah.
Patio slab, Rob, Mark.
Wait, what's the difference between a garden and a... Because I know garden is different in the UK, right? They say it differently. Garden is different over there.
Patio. That's all I'm saying. On a side note, and first of all, I want to say this for the folks who in California and the Palisades area. I mean, all of our love and hopes and prayers are going out to you guys. I've been posting stuff when people, a friend of mine named Sai and a couple of other people have been putting up and posting stuff to help them. Like somebody, if you need your horses moved, I was like, yeah, I'll send that out over there.
They just said Mama D passed away in it from Blues Brothers. They just said Mama D passed away. The actress. She was in the fight. She got caught in it. So yeah.
Well,
so
the reason why
it's getting bad.
Well, the reason why I'm mentioning this, and it was an interesting question from Roger. Do you think Gallifrey won't be canceled this year because of the wildfires here in Canada? I don't know. I've never been to Gallifrey.
They said the Oscars are going on, but they're doing them sparingly and everything and stuff. So
as long as the fire does not hit downtown LA,
right?
We hope it's still very, very minimally contained for a wildfire in San Diego. I grew up in Southern California. The fact that it's been a week and it's been so minimally contained, that's not good.
Is that the higher elevation of LA where it is? Because I'm trying to figure out.
We have like LA, and then we got like the bedroom communities of LA. It's like the suburbs of LA.
Okay, it's almost like New York City, and then you got outer city.
Yeah, and then you have outer. The fact that it's a week old and the Palisades one is still 17% contained, that's not good. And just praying and hoping that the Santa Ana winds do not kick back up tonight. They're supposed to get stronger again tonight, and we pray that it keeps the firefighters can keep it contained to where it is, and eventually start getting this monster out.
Well, Lionsgate Studios is collecting clothes and everything also for the people and stuff as well. If anybody wants to donate or anything. And I think Broadway Cares is also collecting as well and everything and stuff. So please, And
there's like food services. You can go online in LA and buy like a meal for a firefighter, or a meal for a person suffering right now.
And they also have pictures now with the wild animals and the pets and everything and stuff. So guys, it's hitting everybody.
I'm not expecting I was just looking at the date. Gallifrey 1's a month away.
Yeah, but
it should be out by then.
Exactly. Coming from an area that has had more than one fire this big or bigger. No, if unless, as you say, it goes farther into LA proper and starts, and there's actual damage, the fires themselves should be. They won't. Honestly, they probably won't be 100% out. But
no, not the way
they will be effectively out.
Yeah.
We've gone from a bonfire to a match kind of a,
The embers are still burning. They're trying to get those out. They're trying to get
as long as the wind doesn't turn. That's the concern, because on Saturday, the wind had turned more eastward from Mandeville Canyon. It could have gone into LA, downtown through Griffith Park. So the idea is they are still not out of the woods yet.
Yeah.
So guys, if you see anything, it's legit. That is legit. Donate and help them out and everything. They're looking for volunteers. They're looking for anybody with experience, also counselors, everything. You know, just be there.
It's burned down because of the wildfires. He wants our governor again. Initially running out. Hair gels for God. Okay,
there was a bunch of actors, but also there's some other people, normal people that lost their homes too.
For the regular people.
I mean, because this is the suburbs of LA, and a lot of these people who own their houses is because it's their family home. Like I lived in Southern California, and our family lived in the house for 50 years, and we weren't rich, but we had a nice house because it was the family home. So these are not like the super wealthy. And even the super wealthy, they also all got their fire insurance canceled. So everyone.
That was another thing I was upset about. What the hell do you do
right now? I mean, Robert Redford posted a picture of his, his Oscar all tarnished up. I mean, I know the Academy will fix it, but still, it's hitting everybody, and we're all in the same boat together.
They said, what was it, Joe? What was his name from Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman? He's at Jane Seymour's house right now. He's literally, the shirt off his back was gone, everything, only the shoes he had on his feet, and his house is gone and everything.
Yeah, Paris Hilton had enough time just to get her kids and her pets out.
I'm happy that guy found his dog Oreo.
Oh God, that made me cry.
Yeah, I couldn't. Yeah,
because Oreo got scared and ran back in the flames.
Well, I'm going to say this. I'm just like, to me, I know there's a lot of things being said about what's going on, and right now, everybody. It doesn't matter if you're rich or poor or whatnot. I'm being somebody who has lost everything at one point for a time. I can only speak for people. I know we could always say, hey, the rich are well off to do, but to lose a house, you're losing time, you're losing investment, you're losing, a part of you that you've spent a majority of your life in. That's something you can't get back. That's something that, those memories, those things that you've done in there, that's something you can start all over and try, but sometimes it's harder for people. And to me, it doesn't matter who you are in the area. We just want you to get out there, get out of there if you can, be safe, and hopefully things will change for the best. So
take evacuation order seriously. If you get evacuated, don't wait around, because this thing can turn on a dime. These are monsters.
They even had people contact the news stations because this family was on vacation, and to get their dogs out, the news reporter said an hour later the house was gone. If they didn't get the dogs out, they gave them permission to break in their house, get their things and stuff.
It turns, those fires can turn on a dime. They are a monster. They're like the most closest thing to the fires of hell that you'll ever see on this earth.
Yep. And for the history buffs, I saw a graphic earlier today, and this is basically, there's the Great Fire, Chicago Fire, that destroyed the city, and this is about, and that's like a ninth of the size.
Yeah, Chicago fires destroyed 2,122 acres, give or take. Granted, it was a much tighter urban area. This is about, and counting, is like last time I heard it was 18,000, 17,000, and still growing. So I mean, it's still consuming.
Exactly.
It's only 7% contained. That means it's still having It's basically saying it's burned up 17% of available fuel to consume. Yeah, it's still things to consume. So things of.
But
he's gonna make us not cry.
We now we apparently, because it's this episode, we need to find a paving stone or something to end the
You might. I don't know.
Like here's a cat. We'll just
actually, I got a shelf. We were trying to fix the apartment. I got a shelf.
Yeah, it's not working. Anyway.
All right.
Well,
is this about the size? No, this is not about the size.
Yeah, we'll end it on this. And, prayer, love, and
you meddling kids.
if you have the means to contribute, I heard Roderick said the Red Cross is accepting donations to California people. But yeah.
And this is something that's going to go on for a long while.
Right.
So if you cannot at this moment, this is going to be months of, and the same thing for North Carolina. These are going to be things that are going to go on for months and months and months and months.
Because there's even a meme about that too. What happened about North Carolina? And right now, I think everyone should just say, okay, I have 5 minutes. Let me do something, just do something.
Yeah.
Clean out your closets, do whatever, just give them something, If you know how to dig, go out there and help them dig trenches for the fires, do something.
Well, anyway, if you haven't subscribed already,
I know we're
subscribed already. Now's a good time. Give us a like, give us a thumbs up, everything. Yeah, where was I anyway? Don't forget to check out our website, thelegendofthetravelingtardis.com. And Tom will be happy about this. Yes, Spill the Geek Tea. Make sure you check it out on his YouTube channel. Again, you can just type in Spill the Geek Tea. You can find it. And Tom has been putting out content almost on a daily basis out there. Mm-hmm. And for as long as it lasts, I'll give you our.
Yeah, how many more days are we counting down? How many?
I have no idea. We're just like right at the doorstep, I believe. I don't know how much further we got out there. So.
I'm waiting to see what happens because people are saying people are going to start crying and everything else, and I'm like, listen, it was social media. You have other things.
Well, you also got to know that it's. People's livelihoods were attached.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. People were making
voice actors, everything. Yeah.
And this is how they communicated. This is how they networked. I mean, people were communicating. I met new friends on TikTok that I, for whatever reason, I never met on, the other platforms, Facebook and Twitter and all those guys. So,
there'll be other things.
There'll be other things, but for the meantime, I'm at Top Tech. Are you making stuff up?
All I gotta say is, on behalf of Canada, sorry.
Wait, Canada gets to keep it?
Oh hell yeah, we do.
Oh yeah,
wait,
it's entirely the U.S. that's going.
And that means you have the intelligent one where they only do math and reading and stuff for kids under the age of like 15, 16, where they don't teach them all the crazy stuff and everything. Because I know the European one is a little different from the American one.
TikTok, I don't know.
Yeah, they said there's two different versions.
I know there's more than that even, but I know a lot of people in the States. What is the new red something?
There's a blue sky. There's a
lemonade. There's red something. And
the funniest part about the red something, whatever it is that is literally the Chinese.
Oh, that one, yes.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about.
Everyone's like, this is terrible because it's the government controlling our free speech. Let's all move to this platform that is explicitly meant to control you.
Exactly. Well, it's somebody saying, "Hey, I hate Disney," and they start leaving the Magic Kingdom and walk over to Epcot. I'm like, what?
Right? That's exactly what that is.
What were you thinking?
I mean, go to Tokyo, Japan, because you want to go to that Disney because you don't like this Disney.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say the reason that they can keep TikTok in Canada is that Canada currently is still their own country.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, no, but I mean, I thought it was because of the versions. That's why I thought they were getting rid of it in the United States because we have a different version than everybody else.
No, the thing is that because TikTok is owned by China, which is why people are going to Red whatever,
which
is specifically as a protest against this being shut down by the government because it's owned by China and probably is being used to spy to a significant degree.
Isn't that what social media does anyway? And
I was going to say,
but it's not American billionaires making the.
A few people have come out and said, you know what?
the Temu thing.
I've never had my TikTok account hacked. I've never said something on TikTok and had it show up in my ads 5 minutes later. But if I even think about something, suddenly my Facebook algorithm is all over it.
Yeah,
and my Facebook is always constantly getting clones and hacks and everything from, and TikTok's the problem.
Yep,
we know about all of the, shenanigans in the, on Facebook right now, but TikTok's the problem.
It's not like you have a device named A that listens to everything you say.
She's on silent right now.
I don't understand. I just don't understand.
So somewhere in some government repository, they had me calling her my nasty words.
Well, is it
I had to get rid of the G1.
Like what?
Do you guys remember the G1 and everything?
That's the look of mine's face when I'll call her nasty things all the time.
Yeah, they had the G1 before I got the A1, and the G1 laughed because it actually picked up my friend's voice, thinking it was me.
Oh,
I was like, bye. You got back in the box. You're a paperweight now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so people just don't have TikTok, so they're like, okay.
I'm going to be honest with you guys. I don't have TikTok for one obvious reason, and I'm not going to say it on here because we might get demonetized for it and everything. But it was after something with my friend, and I will not go on TikTok after seeing certain things that people do and stuff. Because when you're playing chicken with cars and putting dogs in fridges and everything, and other things that are also pertaining to what happened to my friend and everything, I won't do it unless they can prove to me that they're not going to do these stupid things. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but people do stupid things anywhere, so it just happens to be that's what it is.
Yeah,
well, but after America's Funniest Home Videos became a thing, people started deliberately injuring themselves and loved ones.
Yeah, but not with a car. Like you're standing on
Yeah.
Fordham Road, and you're just playing chicken with the cars, and you're playing Frogger. You know what I mean?
All right, Roger, we're a Doctor Who podcast. That's all.
Yes.
Hey, Roger. Okay, so thank you, Roger. Yes, get us over.
Hey, the drones might be from the Doctor. The drones might be from the Doctor.
All right, we're gonna go ahead and go.
We don't know where they're coming from.
I'm done here. David, where can people find you, my friend?
At crossingthethemes.wordpress. It's my blog, and yeah, I have opinions, and you should read them.
You need to make that the tagline on the page.
I want to read those themes.
I want to make a t-shirt for him with that.
I'm not going to make you read anything. Come and watch my videos on my YouTube channel. Next week films. I'll be
Michelle, the TARDIS Archives. Where can people find you?
Facebook, and also you can get my book Haunted Fredericksburg at Amazon and UK and in the US, and read about people who did stupid things and just wrote about it.
Gadget, where can people find you?
Just throw a penny, you'll find me. Not at the DMV anymore, but you can also find me on Lulu.com and everything. 18 years and a half of hell, I am free of it. So I get to enjoy you guys more and everything and see you guys at conventions and stuff now, because I was debating something, but I don't have enough money right now. Otherwise, there might have been an extra party down at MegaCon because I'm convincing parents and everything. Because I can actually enjoy it now and come see you guys.
Next week, we're going to have our very first interview with Nina Di Cosimo, who appeared in Victory of the Daleks, and she'll be on, and we'll be interviewing her. That will be our first interview of this year. So come along and join it. Dave, go ahead and wrap us up out of here. Get us out of here.
All right. Well, you can find me at therathole.ca. Also on Spilled Geek Tea sometimes when I'm able to make that show. I will be at MegaCon, as we were just discussing. I'll be at Pensacon, Gamma Expo if you're a gaming person. I'll be out in Salt Lake City for the tail end of SaltCon. Calgary Expo coming up a little farther into the spring. And, of course, right here on the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. I know the content on my page, the Rat Hole DOTCA, is the YouTube, has been a little bit light recently. Real world, we don't need to go into that. Content has been lacking, and I apologize for that. But that's where you can find me. And again, right here on Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. Thank you for joining us. Thank you all my panelists and Christian and everybody here. Thank you guys. Say goodnight, David.
Good night.
Good night, David Toilet.
Good night, Tony.
Tony, take us out, and good night.
Night,
Rose.
Hi, Rose.
You know, I should put that picture back up again.